Hello nieces, hello nephew, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome to my YouTube channel where we do some awesome price action technical analysis. And today the S&P 500 is showing us some bear market behavior, some bear market tendency. We're gonna talk about why I feel like that. But first, check out this flow sentiment. Extremely bearish. I have it filtered for 200k premiums above because I want to see what the big money's doing, and I have the expiration dates for these contracts within 1 month. Okay, because I want to see how the big money's feeling short term wise, because I am a short term trader, and it's very bearish. Okay, and towards the end of the day, we see some big money coming in. 6.3 million sweeps right here. 398 strike price, May 20th. So a few weeks away. $7 million. Also 398 strike price, same date. 7.4 million. So lots of money for that 398 price target. Okay, interesting stuff. Now, this was my plan for this morning. Okay, now wrote some notes for the Discord members, but I'm just gonna read the plan to you. Okay, we had a bull case and a bear case. We don't try to predict what's gonna happen in the market. We just let the price action guide us based on the scenario. So we want to be prepared and nimble. Okay, so I got a bears case scenario, bull and bear case scenario. So here it is for the bull case. First support is at 425 because in pre-market SPY was pretty up around 426, 427. So first support is at 425. As long as it holds 428, then 430.3 is in play. Okay, and we must clear that level to trigger more upside. Okay, so 425 was my equilibrium level. It was my line in the sand, if you will. And the bear case scenario was loss of 425. We'll put 423.8 in play. That's my first price target to the downside if we lose 425. Below 423.8 is a bearish warning sign because this puts the support of the big yellow triangle pattern in play. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And it's not ideal for bulls to be tested again, okay? For that level to be tested again. Loss of 421.7, that was the level, is a big technical breakdown, putting 420, 415, then 48 to 49 in play. Okay, obviously 420, 415 hit beautifully, but let's talk about this. Okay, so here's the 15-minute chart. Okay, all my levels are based on the daily chart. Daily chart's very powerful. However, I do use the 15-minute chart to execute my trade. Now here is where SPY opened, 9:30 Eastern time, like always, and it gave us a big red candle to the downside. Now this green line right here is my 425 level. Okay, so we lost that level on the first 15-20 minutes. What happened on the next candle? All right, it back tested that support level that was previously a support level. It back tested it as a resistance. Okay, that is where you look to enter if you want to bet to the downside. That is where you get confirmation if you're wondering if we're gonna get more downside. It hit that level as a resistant. When it was a previous support, it hit it as a resistant, got strong rejection, and I put the yellow arrow there because that's actually where I entered a put. All right, keep in mind I have a room in my Discord where Uncle Charles calls out his plays in real time, by the way, in real time. So we entered on this back test. All right, that's what I always tell you guys. When we lose a support, watch for the back test to confirm, because on the back test it can confirm if we go more downside or if it's going to recapture, if we could possibly get a reversal. All right, false breakdown scenario, something like that. So I entered there and wrote it down. As we wrote it down, I like to shave off profits as I go, and I think I was done on this trade around here. Okay, when we lost the 421.7 support level, we lost it, and you can see here we lost it. And look at this candle, back tested that level. All right, that was our resistance zone, 421.7 to 422-ish. Back tested as a resistance, similar to here. Now, I did not enter on this because I was already happy with the gains I got from there, so I wasn't feeling froggy to get into another trade, okay? So, but you can still see it. The strategy is still working. Back test, boom, and it pushed all the way down. I had support around 420, but around 419.5. I had that as support yesterday, actually. I didn't call it out today, but I eventually as the day went on, I updated the support. So 419.5 to 420 was our support zone. And as you can see, it came down to the support zone, recaptured it, gave us a nice recapture and pushed it all the way back up to resistance around 421.7 to 422. Gave us a recapture here, false breakdown, recapture here, false breakdown. That's where it got tricky a little bit. It got really tricky because, you know, market makers, they're going to look to trick us out. They're not going to make it easy for us. So they might fake us one time. They might fake us 2 times. They might even fake us 3 times. And it's on us to stay disciplined and continue to follow the price action using our strategy to guide us. So that's 2 false breakdowns. Very bearish. Could not hold that level. Could not recapture it. Remember, closing above is not enough. We need to see it back test as a support as well. And as you can see, it did not get it. Pushed it all the way down. Back down to the 419.5 to 420 level. And it based, okay? Now check it out. Here's where it got, even for Uncle Chartist, it got a little tricky. This yellow arrow is pointing out my entry of where I entered another put. I actually entered a put on the breakdown of the 420 support, okay? So you can either buy or enter on the breakdown or wait for the back test. The back test is simply just to give you confirmation, and it lowers the risk. Sometimes Uncle Charters don't mind a little risk. So I bought the breakdown of 420. If I scalped it, I would have made money because it dropped pretty low, about another 50 cents. But I wasn't in scalp mode. I should have been, but in hindsight, I could say that I should have been, right? But I didn't know because I'm trading in real time. I entered there, and then the next hand it closed. It recaptured 420. Uncle Charters got stopped out right here. All right, cool. So keep in mind, I entered a put up here and rolled all this whole move down. So I was in good amount of profit. And then here, because I respected my stop loss, I took a small loss. I didn't get stubborn or anything. Now, in hindsight, you're looking at it and you could say, well, Uncle Charters, if you didn't respect your stop loss, you would have made money and you wouldn't have to get in another trade, which I did, by the way. But I'm trading in real time. And I didn't know it was going to drop back down. All I know is that it recaptured and it hit my stop loss and it's on me to respect it. And I did. I didn't know it was going to drop. But since it did drop, Uncle Charters tried to enter a put on the breakdown of 419.5. Okay? And it was not a perfect entry. I actually entered around 419.2-ish. So it was not a perfect entry. But I'm so glad it worked out for me because as you can see, Uncle Charters bought the breakdown. Well, entered a put on the breakdown of support. And it worked out well, and it dropped all the way down to my last support level of the day, around 415 to 416ish. All right, it was very awesome. You know, I wrote one of my last posts of the day. I wrote right here around 3:55 p.m., 5 minutes before the market closed. I wrote to the group, if bulls want to turn things around, they need to stop by recapturing 420. As long as below, I still favor 415 to 416 zone as my next target. Look at when this is the 4 o'clock candle. So I wrote it around here, around 315, around between here, before it even hit 416 to 415. And the last second, SPY hit it. Some clutch move. It was incredible trading day, okay? But as you can see on the daily chart, look at all those red candles, guys. Those big red candles. Let me get rid of these arrows. Okay? See these big red candles? It's looking like a falling knife slicing through all these support levels. All these different lines are my support levels. I apologize if it makes your eyes hurt. But as of right now, okay. So as of right now, it closed above. Where did it close? Around 416, 7 cents off of my price target, but it actually hit it when you can see it in the 15-minute chart. For some reason, it's not showing on the daily chart, okay? But it's in around 413 now in the post market. So that 415 to 416 zone, gotta watch that, all right? If it opens above it, that's the first support. You want to see reaction from there, and if it can bounce and clear a resistance, the first resistance will be 419.5, okay? If it can bounce from there and clear a resistance, then maybe I would be a little more bullish, okay? So stay bearish on the SPY unless it clears a resistance, all right? Because we can get relief rallies, all right? Remember, you know, bear markets, you might think, if you're in a bear market, you're trading in a bear market, it's much easier to just short everything. But a lot of times in bear markets, you get some nice squeezes. All right, some short squeezes. Because look what happened last week. We got a big drop here, and then look what happened yesterday. Short squeeze. All right, relief rally. Those relief rallies can be very violent. All right, so it's very important to know your levels and stay true to the strategy. Okay, be very tactical with this. All right, so 415, 416. As long as we're below it, that is then first resistant, and the next support I got is around 408.5. This level has served as both a support and a resistant level. Yeah, back in April of last year, and it was a good reference points for false breakdowns and recaptures back in early May of last year. Okay, so I like that 408.5 level, and below that is 400 to 403 range. I'm giving it a range. That's a decent sized range, but that is the gap back in April, early April of 2021. All right, so like I said, now that since we're below 415, 416 zone right now, that is then resistant. 408.5 is my next support. And then if that fails, we're going for that gap fill that a lot of bears have been talking about for a long time. Okay, so in order to turn this around, because remember, in the bear market, it happens a lot. Go back and look at the 2007, 2008 bear market. Yo, those short squeezes are violent. So I just want to put that out there for you guys. Be careful. I know if you're bearish, or maybe you're just unbiasedly following the price action, that's great. But just keep in mind, be careful for the short squeezes. Pay attention to the levels. Okay, my next support level is 408.5, and then we go for the gap fill, 400 to 403 zone. All right, resistance now 415 to 416. Above that is 419.5. Don't be bullish on the SPY unless it can clear some resistant levels, especially the levels that I just mentioned. Okay, VIX very overextended to the upside. Okay, you see the upper Bollinger Band makes me a little nervous, but it closed a little above the 78.6 retracement level at 33.4. All right, so technically it did clear it, just a few cents. So if VIX does decide to cool down a bit and go into base mode, I'd like to see the 30.2 support level continue to hold. Okay, as long as that support level holds and it bases, that means that it's still bullish. It's just building strength for more upside. Okay, best time to turn bearish on any stock, ETF, even the VIX, is when we lose the support. Okay, so as of right now, it did clear, like I said, it did clear 33.4, a few cents, but it dropped. If it drops below that, because we are overextended, if it goes into base mode, 30.2 needs to hold. Okay, below that we got 27.96 and 25.7, then back down to 23. Okay, so if we start seeing VIX taking out support levels, that's a good sign that the SPY is gonna head back up. Okay, but if VIX just bases around and hold this support level, building strength for more upside, that's pretty bullish, and that's a sign that SPY has more downside and will go back and hit those downside levels that I mentioned earlier. Okay, one more time, below 415 is 408.5, and then we go down to the gap fill. If that level fails, we go down to the gap fill around 403 to 400 range. Okay, that's the gap fill from April of last year. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you guys today. Hope you guys found this useful, and remember, family's important. Uncle Charles loves you.